Well, I've got another one, and these are as rare as hen's teeth. So I'm very, very pleased to have acquired a second Guildford Mini Extra Slim. And I am a sucker for punishment, aren't I? Why am I buying another Guildford Mini Extra Slim in unused condition when I know for a fact that it's probably going to end up like this, in the same way as my Mini Executive has ended up like this. I haven't got my other Guildford here, my Guildford's Slimline Personal, but that has also ended up like this. So why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? Especially since the not only is this deluxe leather not perhaps so deluxe after all, but also I'm having to constantly adjust and bend and realign the rings on this particular model because they're so fragile. Well, there's one reason, and the one reason why I've gone to the expense of acquiring another one in virtually unused condition is the form factor. There is nothing available in the Filofax catalogue to satisfy my requirements for an EDC apart from this one model. I have tried the Mini Executive one as well, which is slightly bigger, and it has this annoying pen loop that I don't do pen loops, and so I much prefer the form factor of the Guildford Mini Extra Slim because it doesn't have pen loops, and in fact I don't even want any pockets. In fact, I've actually on this one butchered it by completely removing the card slots on one side. You know, I don't care what it looks like. It's the form factor function over any other consideration is important to me. So this is a brutally efficient EDC for me. It ticks all the boxes, and I am willing to ignore some fundamental flaws. The two in question are, one, the appalling leather, and secondly, to a lesser extent, but it's still a valid point, the fact that these rings, I bought this almost unused just over a year ago, and look at the state of it now, and that has happened in just 1 year. But I appreciate that I'm using it. I'm treating it sort of fairly harshly. I'm not damaging it. I don't have it in my back jeans pocket and I sit on it or anything. It's just in constant use during the day over the last year or so. It's gone from looking superb to looking a bit worse for wear, shall we say. But it is the form factor. So what have we got here? I mean, I was really lucky. This model, the Guildford Mini Extra Slim, was only made for a year, I believe. I don't know why they dropped it, because it's such a really good design, in terms of the form factor anyway. My hunch is that they got bad feedback about the fact that the leather was not quite as good as they expected. I have got other. I mean, I've only just done a video about this where this is deluxe leather, described as deluxe leather. It's a Guildford, sorry, it's a Filofax Lyndhurst from the early noughties. I've had it just over 20 years. I used it in anger every day as an EDC for 10 years, and there is not a single crack in the leather inside this. So it can be done. Yeah, it wasn't done with the Guildford Mini Extra Slim. So I think there was some sort of manufacturing defect, perhaps. They certainly didn't design it to look like this after 1 year of hard use. But we are where we are. So what have we got in this? I mean, it's just for me, it's a magical thing. So we have essentially a brand new, albeit maybe, so I think they came out 2007, 2008. So it has some age to it, but doesn't smell as if it's being used. It's even got the ring protector insert there. Guildford Extra Slim Mini Organizer, deluxe leather, but time will tell. But what I'm going to do, I was actually going to leave this in my stash of my secret stash of Filofaxes, if you like, and I was going to start using this when this bit the bullet, as it were. But that could be ages, because this could last another 10 years. I think obviously the leather is not the deterioration of the leather isn't going to stop me using it. What will stop me using it is if the rings become have deteriorated so much that I can no longer bend them into shape. But here's the thing. What I want to do is I want to start using this. So I'm going to maybe swap the contents of my EDC maybe once a week, once a fortnight, from here into here. And I'm going to be using this in anger half the time. So 50% of the year, swapping it 1 week, another week, 1 week, another week. Because what I want to do is a bit of an experiment. Because I don't know whether or not I know that this leather deterioration has occurred on several models of Filofax I own, particularly the Guildford range. But I want to see whether this ostensibly unused Guildford Mini Extra Slim will deteriorate just as fast as this has. Now, I'm for the purposes of the experiment, I'm not going to do what I often do, is cut out the pockets that I do not use. I'm just going to leave them there, because to be honest, I've used this one for over a year, and I've only recently removed the pockets. So I want to try and replicate as much as possible the conditions that have been faced by this one, to see whether or not there was maybe a different production line. I'm just curious as to whether the leather will deteriorate on this one just as fast as this one. And what I'll do is, obviously, if I'm alternating between the two, and I'm only using this half the time, then I'll only discover a year's worth of, this will only be treated to a year's worth of use after 2 years, because I'm swapping between the two. But that is what I'm going to do. I really, really like this. And so we will just see whether or not it lasts. As I record this in late February 2022. Let me see if I can show you. There's no deterioration at all. There are no There are no marks. There's no cracking of the leather. Nothing at all so far. Now, I'm going to keep an eye on it, and I will report back to you guys on this particular one in, shall we say, a couple of years. Hopefully I'll still be around. My doctor thinks I'm still going to be around in 2 years, so I will go with that. So we will see. I might comment on this in a Q&A session every now and again to give you an update. But I will. Excuse me. I'm so tired today. It's some of the medication I'm on. It's making me tired. But the spirit is still very much willing. I will let you guys know. So I'm probably going to upload this tomorrow, Sunday, and let me know what you think of this particular model. I'm so pleased that I found it, because they're since I don't know. I don't know. So I've got this theory. So when I started eulogizing about this model, the Guildford Mini Extra Slim, when I got it, I did notice on a global scale, I mean, I'm not trying to bang my own drum here, but it is what it is, I noticed the demands went up. So prices on eBay went up. But since I have been reporting on the trouble I've had with this, prices have gone down a little bit. So I don't know if that was just a bad batch and this one works out all right, maybe the prices go up. But it does go to show that if you put yourself out there in the public domain talking about stuff on YouTube, it can affect the demands of a particular product, especially if it's a product that is potentially very, very desirable, in this case as an EDC, and especially if you're reporting some technical issues. Let's call them technical issues, because I'm sure that Filofax as an organisation, as it were, didn't set out to have a Filofax that was this bad in terms of the leather quality, especially when they're advertising it as, they're describing it as deluxe leather. But we are where we are. I'd love them I'd love Filofax if they brought this model back because of the form factor. But hopefully they would have the technology and the experience now to make sure that the this cracking of the leather is symptomatic of some models, which is a bit of a shame, because it's such a useful thing. So I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching once again. I'm waffling as always, but perhaps you can forgive me for that. So until my next video, thank you very much and goodbye.